My name is Alice Hanley, and I do a lot of the homemaking and the cooking and work as well.
I don't want anything on the floor either.
Ow!
My name is Jim Hanley. We have 3 great kids. I went from being able to skydive, ride motorcycles, scuba dive, to losing those privileges.
Matt! My husband and I are not gonna
Live for another 10 years if we keep at the level that we're at.
Matt,
We have Matthew, who is 10. He's very intelligent, quiet, but can be very sneaky at times.
Get off of me, Matt!
Matthew's very mischievous. Matthew, watch the lamp.
He likes to get away with things.
It's your fault.
He tries to get the other girls in trouble. Cassandra.
Matthew does a lot of sneaky things.
Give it back!
Stephanie is probably gonna run a gang somewhere. She's the friends with the teenagers in her school. Stephanie,
I heard you!
she does what she wants.
Come on out of the closet.
She's quiet one minute, and then the next minute very emotional.
No, I don't want to play!
She tends to keep a lot of things inside. Cassandra will be 5 in 1 month. Cassandra is very controlling.
I'm not playing!
She does like to order people around.
I stuck it out! Never do that ever again!
Cassandra has a difficult time sharing.
You need to share it, okay?
No.
Yes, you share it with her.
Alice and I deal with such profound behavioral problems.
Get away from the door.
I feel very much overwhelmed with all the duties that need to be done. One thing can go wrong in the morning and then it snowballs.
They've been sent to their room. They've been had stuff taken away. But I still don't know what the right answer is going to be. You want to go to timeout? Shut it off. I shouldn't have to threaten you. You're going to lose your allowance for the week in a second. 1 time funny, 2 times silly. Now it's silly. 3 times you're out of control. You're acting like a jerk.
Our opinions on a lot of things do differ a great deal.
Oh, stop,
I know.
hon.
Good. Now you be his buddy, and it's not going to work. We disagree on everything. Every
you
time
take
we
care
go
of the
somewhere, I
kids,
take
do the
all the
homework,
kids
do all of that.
almost everywhere we go.
We do bicker a lot back to each other.
Watch his fingers. Watch
I
his
see his fingers. I'm not going to say by any means I'm the warmest guy on the earth. Get out here, dinner. Eat your eggs. I feel that I've lost some of that enjoyment, and it's hard. Leave Cassandra alone. Now you're going to get in trouble.
I don't like the escalation. I don't like the yelling.
That's enough. It's getting a little old.
No father wants to cause their kids to cry.
That's not the type of household that I want for the children.
I told you to stop. We're talking about chain gang behavior. Hun, get my handcuffs.
I think there's a fine line in there, but I don't know how to find that line. We find us in our vicious circle. Nobody's happy.
I put my foot down. We're going to send them off to reform schools. I'm done.
Ow, wait, what?
Well, ladies, what do you think?
Dad needs to set a better example on how to treat ladies for his son.
The first thing these kids need to share is a timeout. 2 therapists and 3 kids. There's far too much negotiating going on in this house.
Very well observed. Not a point missed. Nanny Stella, I'm choosing you to put the Hanley family back on course. It's off to Florida for you. Yes.
I'm Nanny Stella from Burnley in the north of England, and I've been a nanny for over 17 years. I've been called to Hernando Beach, Florida to give these therapists a little advice.
No, Stephanie, stop.
I hope I can bring some sanity to the Hanley household before it goes off its rocker.
Stuck it out!
I'm here to get the Hanley family shipshape at last.
Hi, I'm Alice Hanley.
Hi, I'm Nanny Stella from Nanny 911.
Come on in.
I'm nervous about having the nanny in my house, and I'm apprehensive about what she's going to have to say. This is Jim.
Hello.
How are you, Stella? I'm
Nice
Jim.
to meet
You
you.
know, I've had the psychology courses. I've had all the behavioral courses. And I'm looking to win her over, should we say.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Today's the first day, and today's the hardest one, really. And I'm going to take notes in my book. But one thing I need you to do is just be how you normally are.
That book's not big enough.
It's not? Well, I've been successful so far, but if I need another one, I do have one in reserve. Okay? So I know it's going to be hard, but you just have to sort of pretend I'm not here for a little while.
I'm going to try to be open, but I'm not one that likes to be told what to do.
Is that okay with you, Matthew?
Something
Go
like
ahead.
that.
You can play. Matthew, sit down. Sit down. Sit down. It's fine.
As I begin my observation, the Hanley family sits down for breakfast.
Cassandra is a very picky eater.
You can't have all whipped cream because then it's going to fill up your belly, okay? So you need to eat.
She has very limited food choices that she likes.
Guess what, Cassandra? You can't go to soccer if you don't eat all your breakfast. I like to think of myself as the manager. The final decision comes down to my shoulders. I shouldn't have to reward you for that, but eat.
It's way too
Thank
big
you.
for her.
No, don't try to justify
The
it.
portion was way
Yes,
too
dear.
Dad wants Cassandra to finish her pancake. I was shocked to see Dad turn such a minor issue into an all-out argument.
It was too big of a portion.
It isn't, and you're smirking and you know it.
Put your finger down.
You are. I said you have to eat the pancake before she goes to soccer. And you undermine that without asking
It
me.
was a big pancake.
Looks like there is no consistency in anything that Jim and Alice do in regards to their family.
She's eating your big pancake.
It was still big.
It was no bigger than a waffle.
And while Mom and Dad continue to fight, the kids are wreaking havoc in the next room.
I'll bring it
You-
into the kitchen.
Let's not go there.
No.
After breakfast, Stephanie and Cassandra are playing video games in Matt's room. But it seems Matt doesn't like to share with the girls.
No.
They're gonna play because she needs a few minutes. Please stop. In our house, there is no I'm hoarding this for any reason.
Dad seemed to have an unusual way of trying to get Matt to share. Actually physically holding him where he needed to be. Eventually, Dad just turns a would-be punishment into playtime with Matt.
Let go of the piano, please.
Matt doesn't take being disciplined by Jim seriously.
Don't do that. Matt, there's no butterflies in there. Now, please stop.
They don't look like father and son, trying to communicate over a serious sharing issue.
I don't need this when I can...
Matt, that's enough. Get away from the door, Matthew, now.
Jim actually wants to be the boss. He wants to be in charge.
The longer you struggle, the longer I let her play.
But at the same time, he wants to be buddies with the kids.
Cassandra, finish up. Go on.
Those two don't go hand in hand. Later in the day, Mom joins the girls in their room for some playtime.
We're sharing, okay? Change. 1, 2, 3, switch. No, Cassandra didn't have them yet.
She did not get this one.
Remember? Every few minutes we're switching. Ready?
Go.
Stephanie doesn't like anybody touching any of her stuff. Let's
Let him
switch.
go.
She likes to be in control of everything. You need to take custody. Yes.
Although Mom is trying to get the kids to share, it doesn't seem to be working very well.
Show me 5 minutes.
No.
5 minutes, and then we're gonna rotate. Come on.
Stephanie isn't even willing to share with her mother.
I want to play something else.
Sharing in any household is an issue.
That's the end of that game.
But in the Hanley household, it's huge. Nobody wants to share. It's a really big deal.
All right. Come on, Angel.
Later, Mom sits down to play cards with Matthew, but Dad wants to play a board game.
Do you want to play Monopoly with the girls?
We're not going into Monopoly again.
Hey, do we have a deal? Huh?
Hon, Monopoly is over today.
No, it isn't.
It's ended. It's done.
No, it doesn't work. He wants to play, we play together.
Over for now.
No, it's not.
There's not a 50-50 agreement as far as a lot of things go on in the house.
I'll play that if we play Monopoly first.
Can you
Play
give me something
Monopoly.
to drink, hon? Please.
And again, Dad turns a simple decision into an argument. He wants to have the final say. He is the king of the castle.
Ready?
You got all the aces.
Yep.
Stephanie, get the Monopoly out.
No!
Monopoly time.
I can certainly see where Matthew gets his stubborn behaviour from as Dad storms off in a huff. After game time, Jim and Alice round up the kids for dinner.
Mac, come on out. Get to the table or you'll be bleeding for sure.
It seems like everything at the dinner table is a big problem, and it's hard to break that.
Cassandra gonna say prayers tonight?
Yes, we sing the Lord. Blah, 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 blah,
You're supposed to be saying your prayers with her. Matthew!
It is absolutely shocking how little respect there is in this house.
Stop, Matt.
Very good.
Eat. They don't respect each other when they communicate. They don't respect each other when they interact.
Sit down and be quiet.
Yeah, respect is a big issue. It's been a long day, and with the kids off to sleep, it's a good time to sit the parents down for a long talk. I hope they're ready for what I have to say. Is this a good time to talk?
I don't take criticism very well.
I'm not so sure how much she realizes everything.
The first thing that I see in this house, there are too many chiefs and not enough Indians. The children are in control. They don't take you guys seriously.
Matt, there's no butterflies in there. Please stop.
Every few minutes, we're switching. Ready?
They take me more seriously, and they've known me for a very, very short amount of time.
Nanny Stella had mentioned that the kids had more control than what we did, and I never thought it was a big issue.
Okay, that brings me to communication. You can't get through to your kids when you're undermining each other.
It's too big of a portion.
It isn't, and you're smirking and you know it.
Put your finger down.
You are. You want to play Monopoly with the girls?
Hun, Monopoly is over today.
Monopoly time.
They really don't respect either of you.
Sometimes we both disagree on everything, you know.
This is one thing I just want to make clear to you. The children lack discipline, and they're walking all over you. They really are.
I don't need this when I can...
Matt, that's enough.
I don't let them get away with everything.
How is it okay that he has no other way to communicate than disrupting everything for everybody?
He was communicating.
So why didn't you take him to an aside and communicate to him that that is not okay and it needed to stop, or else? You guys did nothing to correct that behaviour. This comes back to the communication. You have to decide what is acceptable and what is not acceptable behaviour for the children, because if you two don't know what's going on, they don't know what's going on.
We've tried to express the rights and the wrongs.
You haven't thought them through enough together, though. You're really not on the same page on a lot of things. I'm here to help you improve the situation. You know, we're going to try and undo some of the damage that has been done.
You don't want to look at like you're a failure at being a parent, you know, and I don't want to be viewed that way either.
I will be back, and I will be ready.
That book is going to be
outstanding.
Yeah, okay.
See you then.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Without some sort of radical epiphany, I don't think we're going to get that in a week.
After my day of observation, the problems in the Hanley household are easy to spot. So I've brought them a new set of rules.
Jim, Alice, you ready for a little meeting?
Yes.
Certainly.
Shall we sit over here?
These therapist parents are so busy disagreeing with each other that they've let their children get completely out of control.
We're going to talk about Nanny Stella's rules and tools. Dad'll like this. Yeah?
We're not going to change our thinking. We're just going to take it into consideration.
I like things my own way, and then when they change, you know, I become very discombobulated as well.
My first rule is parents work as a consistent team.
It's not as effective as we would like it to be.
We are a team. I mean, we're married 20-some-odd years. How we address it, it's sometimes a little different. It isn't, and you're smirking and you know it.
Put your finger down.
You are.
Rule number 2, sharing is essential. And from this point forward, you guys are going to have to share.
Sharing has always been a big issue in this family. We have a terrible time with it.
Give her the game.
Give me it back. Come on, get this one.
Remember, every few minutes we're switching. Ready?
Go.
And the last and most important rule is respect is a two-way street. Do you guys know what that means? No. Okay,
I
well,
know. You have to have respect with each other and other people.
that's fabulous. I'm very
good
proud that you
job,
know
see?
that. You have to give it to get it, and you treat others as you expect to be treated.
We have to respect them, they have to respect us. It's just not gonna happen. Matthew!
Stop.
Matt, you have more to eat here.
Matt, could you sit up, please?
You're not respecting anything by leaving your head down on the table.
Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is time out. And I would like to try that.
I don't think timeout would work.
I'm the time out queen, and I really believe that if you're consistent and follow through, and you keep putting them back and keep putting them back, that they will adhere to it. One thing I don't do is I don't put children in their bedroom for time out. To me, your bedroom is your haven.
We've done timeouts in their room. We never really thought it was a bad spot.
Okay, let me get to this one next. Okay. This is a chore chart. Now, I know you guys do chores, but it's not very consistent. So when we do chores, we're going to mark them off.
We're gonna give it the full tilt try, but I think it is gonna be a little difficult.
All right, let's get started.
We're going to get extra water.
As the Hanleys get on with their day, I was impressed to see the kids enthusiastically helping out with the chores.
There you go. Do water the plants.
Good job, Matt.
Matthew's turn.
I already did.
Oh, you filled it in? Okay. Did you make your bed?
I know Cassandra put her laundry away when she
Put your
changed
laundry
to her
away.
clothes.
Go across there. Stephanie, let's see what you've done so far.
You took out your trash from your room.
Excellent. Good job. I'm proud of you guys.
The kids did a good job, but as soon as the distraction of chores was over, I began to hear a storm brewing in the other room.
While they have a kids' meeting.
Be careful with the door. Well, your finger's not supposed to be in there, Cassandra, but come on, Steph.
It seems Stephanie was having a problem sharing one of her toys.
Why were you closing the door on her?
Already, a rule has been broken.
Uh-huh. So you know you need to share, Steph, and then she'll let you put them away.
No.
Let me see.
No, you're gonna give them to her.
That's right.
No.
Dad wasn't handling the situation, and for something that I thought to be quite small and insignificant, it was a really major upset for Stephanie, so I wanted to get to the bottom of it.
It's so hard for you to just let her play with us for 5 minutes.
One of the things that I suggested was that maybe she could have something special that she didn't have to share. If those are your special things that you really don't want to share, well, after today, Stephanie's not going to want to share them, okay? But you can find something special, one toy that you don't want to share. All right?
I don't think that I was comfortable with that. Really? I think she should still be required to share regardless. We don't have keepsies.
Dad's reaction to having something special that you don't have to share was absolutely no way. If you're not in agreement, that's fine. But maybe you guys can find something better that works, because that was atrocious.
Nanny came in and said, I want you to have a private toy without talking to us. We're not having private toys.
What's the decision made?
I think if we have something written out and something concrete for them to follow, that might work.
I have the rule book.
You have a rule book?
I was shocked to learn that Dad had a rule book long before I arrived.
If your kids have rules and they're required to share, why am I sitting here for 30 minutes debating it?
Because you're telling me she's going to have something that's
Well, you didn't
not
tell
gonna
me you
share.
had a rule before.
Dad thinks he knows everything, but he's got a thing or two to learn.
My goodness.
Right.
2006, 3 signatures below. We just did this year.
Now look.
By all means.
This set of rules looks like it's predominantly for eating out.
Most of it, yeah. But there should still be sharing on there.
There's no sharing.
Okay. Again, I haven't, it's been a couple of months since I've looked at it.
Jim and Alice are educated. They have a lot of intellect. I think they have zero common sense.
No disrespect. That's over.
After learning that Dad had his own rule book, I knew that he was going to be very difficult. So today, I am hoping to see that Mom is on board.
No, Matt.
Matthew does some of those things for attention. He likes to see our reaction.
Come on, out.
No.
Matt, if you wreck the bed, you're not going to soccer tonight. I want it all cleaned up. All right, you lost soccer.
And when Matt acted up, Mum took away his soccer privilege. She is really letting him know she means business. But then, Dad ruined all progress that Mum had made by making a game out of the situation. Dad turns Mum's attempt at discipline into a pillow fight.
You wanted to relax. Matt, you're not gonna make it.
Now, he's in there. We're leaving him in there.
Yep. Oh, you didn't get the other steaks?
How do you want to work out soccer, huh?
Right now, I want him to go.
After all that?
I can't believe it. Dad undermines Mum again by letting Matt go to soccer.
I have a problem saying that, well, you're not going to soccer, you know, but then, of course, when it came time for the soccer practice, Jimmy took him to the practice.
Get your cleats and stuff on. He shouldn't miss the soccer if he wanted to go.
Matthew was getting away with a lot more than what he should have.
After watching Jim destroy Alice's attempt at punishment, I needed to have a talk with her.
So where they went to soccer?
Yeah, they went to soccer. They should be back shortly.
But I thought you took away his soccer privilege. Let's get this straight. Jim is in charge. Alice may think she's got an opinion, but Jim's in charge.
You're breaking the habits of a lifetime for everybody. I feel like you've had the final word and you've agreed.
And say it.
And he'll still say something, and that's the part that has an impact, you know. Nobody's taking anybody seriously about listening and how serious some things are.
You need to stand your ground. When you give a punishment, stick to it.
And if that really improves with you two, anyway, I think that they'll get a better sense of, well, you know, Mum means business or Dad means business.
I needed Mum to understand that her children's well-being is at stake.
My point to you is if you feel so strongly that something is affecting the welfare of your children and your family, you have to drive that point home.
I think there's an imbalance between myself and Jim.
Later, when the family returned home, I was anxious to see if I had gotten through to Mum.
Push that down, okay.
It was nice to see the family spending some fun time together.
Grab some dominoes.
No, you can play.
But very quickly, Matt started to act up.
Touch him. Don't touch him. Sit down. Hold Angel.
He gets his few.
Although Mum made an effort to correct Matthew, again she was quickly undermined by Jim.
We just said not touching theirs.
I was disappointed to see that Mum just sat idly by.
Oh, one more.
Your job as a parent is to teach your children the difference between right and wrong and what's expected of them. Alice and Jim continue to do nothing, while Matthew becomes increasingly violent. If I don't get through to Jim, Matthew's awful behaviour will never change. But first, I want to make sure Stephanie is okay.
Shake it off. Go get a drink of water.
Stephanie was hurt and upset, and Dad showed almost no compassion.
It's the girls that are immature enough so far, maybe.
Poor Stephanie was left alone in her room crying. I guess it's up to me to console her.
Okay, can we have a little talk? Because I'm very concerned that you're still upset. What is it that's upsetting you so much?
The lack of discipline is hurting these children, and the parents don't seem to care. We are going to have showdown. After seeing the disastrous effect Dad's lack of parenting had during the dominoes game, I had to sit down and have a serious talk with him.
Tell me what you think your job is as a parent. Do you think it's your job to be your kid's best friend?
I want to be the friend who can still get it done.
Your job as a parent is to teach your children the difference between right and wrong and follow through on discipline. Do you want your son to take you seriously, Jim? Do you want your son
to...
He doesn't. How does he take you seriously? Your children don't listen to you when it doesn't suit them, and they're going to be asked to do a lot of things in life that they don't want to do. But fundamental things like when you're saying something as simple as don't walk into the street because there's 15 cars coming down the road.
You should obviously be parenting more than friendship. I understand. I'm willing to try it, but I think part of it is going to be a little difficult.
It's going to fly if you make it fly.
I'm really not convinced that Jim is 100% on board. I think he still will revert to his old ways.
But for Matthew's sake, I hope he can change.
Later in the day, as the family gathered around to play Monopoly again, I was really hoping everyone could get along.
Matt, you can't. I'm the boat.
But the fun didn't last long, as Matthew started to monopolise the game.
Matt, you can be the boat if you come back. I'm not playing.
Get back there. Set the game back up.
Matthew and Jimmy, they have a very close relationship, but I've always found Jimmy very difficult to discipline Matthew.
Stephanie, set it back up again. You have to play.
This boy's behaviour is a mess. I hope Dad will do the right thing and give Matthew a time-out.
You are not playing.
But instead, he chooses to handle it his own way.
You're gonna do it with me in the right way. High number, Cassandra, makes the first choice. Do we understand? If you don't get the boat, you don't get the boat, but you roll first. She's got an 11. This is for the ship, Matt. You gotta get a 12.
Too bad.
You better play.
I'm not. Come on. Oh my God.
Matt, come on.
She got an 11 and he got mad.
Then he can't play.
Alice definitely agrees that it's your job to be a parent, not a best friend.
I'm not that comfortable with the system. You can't get the boat.
So I can get it.
If it can work without getting so strict, I'll do that. Let's try this one more time, girls.
Is that all the 10s?
Matt goes from 0 to 60 in a short space of time, and nobody's helping him resolve that.
Matt, please don't touch the game again.
Matthew started to fly into a rage. He was throwing things, hitting his sisters, and again he became quite violent.
There's a new game. Pick up 100 cards.
I was so shocked to see Dad still do absolutely nothing.
In your room,
I know,
go.
but the boat isn't... Cassandra wants the boat.
Too bad.
Cassandra, will you give the boat up for this little...
I think he's crossing the border of a friend and a parent. Go.
I got him. Please don't.
It was getting on my nerves, quite frankly.
So I had to step in. Matt, what's going on? Get your feet off the table, please. Sit up. Don't speak.
I wanted to show Dad how this is done.
It's either time out or the removal of a privilege.
Rather than taking it seriously, Jim just laughed and walked out.
I have work to do. I'm not here to supervise this.
This is not acceptable, and it has to change. Jim's refusal to take control and set boundaries for his children is a huge problem in this house, and it's time to face it head on.
My heart actually goes out to him because it's not his fault he's in this mess. He does not know what the boundaries are because he thinks nobody's ever going to hold him accountable. And quite honestly, I think I'm the first person that's done it.
I don't think Jim truly knows what it means to be a parent.
And you have to have more credibility with your kids than a stranger. You guys say what you think at the time and then you change your mind later.
I didn't know that there was a rule to changing the rules, but that's fine.
You have to decide what side of the fence you're on. You're either his friend or you're his dad.
Don't berate me for it.
Jim was at the end of his rope.
I'm not going to cave in.
Jim really has an opinion on how things have to be done in his house, and he's going to be a very hard person to sway.
What
But I'm not
offends me?
being sarcastic.
What offends me is I think you are trying to sabotage me
By undermining my rules, and it's your kids that are suffering for it.
What are you, nuts? It's human nature. You know, here you are coming into my house saying, don't do what you've been doing with your son.
A lot of things you're saying
Yes.
to me and doing to me, quite frankly, I find inappropriate. But you know what? I'm a big girl and I can handle it.
Dad's still trying to run the ship.
Whether you want to sabotage it or make me look bad, I really don't care.
I don't think he's out to do that.
I don't know what's possibly irritating her.
The hairs are up on the back of my neck. They really are. I'm not kidding.
I smirk at her when she's trying to do one of these, so maybe that's what's throwing her off with my personableness.
Okay, going forward from this, you can set this bar however you want to. But right now, I want to do my job and do it well and prove to you that I can. Because as far as I'm concerned, I'm under the most scrutiny I've ever been under by you, sir, okay? So I believe me, believe this if never anything else. I will do my job and I will do it well. And if me and you go head to head every day, I don't care. Jim has me here to prove me wrong, professionally and any other way he can come up with. I am up to the challenge.
I'm not trying to challenge you.
I'm going to ask your wife. Do you think your husband's trying to challenge me?
You know, you are set in your ways as well. You know,
and I'm on my toes, and I want to make sure that you are. I'm not trying.
You want to make sure I'm on my toes?
At this point, I am not going to just jump on the boat.
I think Jim feels threatened by me.
But let me tell you, you met your match and we'll go as long as you want to go. What you're losing sight of is I'm here to keep you on your toes and you don't like it.
It might be something that I'm
It's not
getting
a perhaps, it's not a might be,
concerned
it's a
about.
fact. Yeah.
Maybe I am getting concerned about our lack of preparedness.
I came to help you as a consultant. If you knew what you were doing, I wouldn't be here.
Right. I think the nanny's put a lot of stuff back on the table that we've let slide, and we'll accept that.
I don't know you well enough to know how sincere you are or whether you're being patronising or condescending.
It takes Jimmy a little while to become receptive to a whole new point of view. You know, we need to just get it done and keep working on it.
I just don't want to lose sight of why I came to help you. I've said this once, I'm going to say it 100 times. I take what I do very, very seriously. Okay, I've been doing it 17 years.
And that's why I'm looking forward to your professional input to help us with that. I myself know I have to learn. I know I have to change. We'll all learn to live and grow from this.
What I am here to do is help you correct your children's behaviour.
Yes.
Okay?
Works for me.
Great.
I hope this time I finally got through to Dad.
You need a hand with anything?
The next morning, Matt was misbehaving once again.
No, stop.
What's that?
Dad's response to this would be the true test of his authority.
Did he throw something at you?
No, let me have the... Where's the controller? You want to go to timeout? What do you mean?
Thankfully, Dad actually stepped in this time and dealt with the problem at hand.
Come on in here, okay?
10 minutes again.
Matt's disrespectful behaviour finally landed him in an extended timeout.
Now you're getting it. I think we're gonna be the parents now, and I'm gonna be more of a parent than a friend. Sit up, behave, and don't do anything.
This shows Dad has decided to try and make some progress. Despite this having been one of the toughest weeks I've ever had as a nanny, in the coming days, it seems that what I've been trying to teach the Hanley family is beginning to sink in.
Oh, whose turn is Walk Angel?
You wanna sit there?
Despite Dad's stubbornness, he seems to be making an effort to try things my way.
Hey, now look, Cassandra. What are you supposed to do when we eat, okay? Not a girl.
And as a result, the kids are starting to realise their days of running the house are over.
All right, wait. Why don't we take a turn? Matt, stop until she's done.
And while Mum and Dad still have a long way to go to break old habits, the family is slowly becoming more respectful of each other.
And you did great. Thank you.
That's not checkmate.
Don't we put the icing on the whole thing? And then you guys decorate?
I think as long as Mum and Dad stay on track, the kids will definitely stay on track.
Thank you.
But before I leave, I want to make sure Mum is making more of an effort to be an authority figure in the house.
Stephanie, I need your lunch pail.
Oh, is that what you got out of
And the
fridge?
stuff out of your backpack. Stephanie.
Yes?
I heard you.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Come here, Miss Attitude. On the chair for your 500. I think Stephanie knows the expectations now. When Daddy asks you a question, you don't
Matt,
answer with
you're
that
off to the
attitude.
table. Goodbye.
You answer nicely. You hear me?
I
Go.
said, I heard
No,
you.
end the discussion. That's it. Sit here, wait.
I feel we've gotten back our control, the control of being a parent.
Next time we ask you a question, you answer appropriately and nicely. No attitude. Drop it.
We have to really step up our game and stick to it.
I was very pleased to see Mum finally hold her ground and follow through with an effective time out. And as for me, all that was left to do was say goodbye.
Hey, guys.
Hi, Stella.
In the beginning, it wasn't easy to affect change in the Hanley house. It was painful. It was a very tough start, but I think it's been a great finish. I think you guys have made some huge progress, and I would be remiss in my duties if I didn't say, please keep it up.
We will.
Okay?
Guaranteed. There are still going to be some hurdles to address. It has been a productive experience for the kids and for the family.
Stephanie, how do you feel about sharing now? Is it okay? Matt, I'm really proud of you. You're doing a great job. Okay, I just want you to keep it up.
I feel a little bit of satisfaction about
What I've achieved with them whilst I've been here.
Are you going to keep being a good girl, even when Nanny's gone?
I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. The pressure's gone, and it seems like, the boat's ready to sail now.
You weren't getting away with that, Jim.
We're still in the midst of it. We feel that we've gotten a lot out of it. Now that the whole process is over, I have a heck of a lot more work to do.
All right, you guys gonna give me a big cheery wave off?
I think there is a lot more love and a lot more happiness. I want that for my kids, and I think we have very much accomplished that here.
Some families are more receptive than others, and though I wish I had more time, ultimately, it's up to the Hanleys to make the changes themselves. And for the sake of the children, I really hope that they do.